For 23 years, humanity sat on the Galactic Council as the quiet newcomers. They built a reputation as a purely diplomatic species, celebrated entirely for their advancements in art and culture. On the other side of the chamber sat the Kralon Empire. For 4 centuries, this apex predator race conquered every system they touched, leaving a trail of 17 defeated species in their wake. They gave Earth a 48-hour ultimatum: hand over 3 established colony worlds and abandon 15 million human beings, or face the full weight of their imperial armada. The Galactic Council urged Earth to negotiate a peaceful transfer. By their logic, a species entirely lacking natural armor, fangs, or physical strength simply stood no chance against warriors 3 times their size. Ambassador Elena Vasquez refused. She reminded the stunned chamber that while humanity was new to the stars, they possessed 4,000 years of documented history forged in continuous internal conflict. With a single command, Vasquez initiated Protocol Omega, activating defense plans that had been prepared for years, plans the Council hadn't even known existed. The Council had judged Earth based on the surface, assuming that soft skin and a lack of claws meant a lack of will. As Vasquez left the chamber, the galaxy's understanding of humanity was about to be tested. When the Kralon Armada arrived at the colony of New Britannia, they expected a formal surrender or a traditional head-to-head exchange of fire. Instead, they found 20 human ships drifting completely silent and cold in an asteroid belt, waiting in ambush. The Kralons relied entirely on advanced energy shields, engineered to dissipate high-heat energy weapons like plasma. But human doctrine favored kinetic projectiles, solid metal slugs. The alien shields didn't register physical mass, allowing human rounds to punch straight through and into the engine cores. When a human ship was too damaged to fire, the pilot didn't offer an honorable challenge. They accelerated their vessels straight into the Kralon flagship and deliberately overloaded their own nuclear fusion core. A technologically superior military breaks down when the opponent ignores the predictable, formal rules of engagement in favor of pure, destructive efficiency. Furious at the loss of 12 warships, the Kralon Empress dispatched a grand armada of over 200 vessels to obliterate Proxima Station. Humanity responded with a deep, layered defense. The vanguard of the alien fleet met a wall of hidden antimatter mines, converting dreadnoughts into pure energy. Simultaneously, human hackers breached the Kralon networks. Weapon systems locked up and life support flickered as a weaponized computer virus shut down the armada from the inside out. Then, the psychological barrage began. The humans hijacked the Kralon communication channels, flooding the fleet's sensors with the history of Earth's most violent struggles. They broadcasted the brutal logic of the choke point. This is Thermopylae, where 300 soldiers leveraged narrow geography to hold back an empire of thousands. They showed the grinding reality of urban combat. In Stalingrad, humans fought house to house, turning the entire city into a graveyard for the invader. And they showed the absolute extreme, Hiroshima. The moment a species unleashed the atom to erase an entire city in a single flash of light. The Kralons had spent centuries conquering species that eventually surrendered. They now realized they had engaged an opponent that had refined the art of killing over 10,000 years of internal struggle, perfecting it for the sake of absolute survival. Human strike forces quickly pivoted to a doctrine known as strategic bombing. Instead of meeting the main Kralon fleet head-on, they jumped behind enemy lines to hunt down unarmored fuel refineries and supply depots. Alien combat was structured around the pursuit of glory and decisive ship-to-ship duels. Human combat was a factory floor, focused on mass production, resource starvation, and the systematic destruction of the enemy's ability to exist. The humans then lured the primary Kralon defensive fleet into a pitched battle, drawing them far away from the moon orbiting the alien homeworld. While the fleet was distracted, a second strike force dropped out of faster-than-light travel directly above that moon, destroying every shipyard and manufacturing plant in full view of the Kralon citizens below.
total war does not aim to win individual battles. It aims to dismantle the physical and economic foundations of an entire civilization. Facing mass starvation across their blockaded colonies and the complete collapse of their infrastructure, the Krallon Empress officially requested an unconditional surrender. Humanity demanded reparations and the dismantling of the Krallon fleet. However, they also revealed they had nuclear and antimatter weapons pre-positioned above the Krallon capital and deliberately chose not to use them. This exposed the core difference between the two species. The Krallons fought to conquer, humanity fought to protect their homes, and possessed the restraint to stop as soon as that goal was achieved. Lacking claws or armor, early humans were forced to innovate simply to survive against natural predators, shaping these stone tools to level the playing field. Over millennia, that drive for survival scaled up. The sharpened stone became the rifle, evolving into the industrialized, mechanized science of the modern battlefield. In a final address to the Galactic Council, Ambassador Vasquez signaled a shift in Earth's role. They would no longer be a species to be pitied, but the architects of a defensive network for any world facing unprovoked aggression. True influence in the galaxy doesn't come from a biological predisposition toward violence. It comes from mastering the horrors of conflict and having the wisdom to wield that power only for protection.